Hello. We are live. We are live for the first time in, maybe since December, y'all. And when I tell you that I forgot where the live button was, when I just stared for minutes and minutes and minutes trying to figure out where on earth I was supposed to come talk to you guys at. Hello, Melissa. Hello, Ray Ray. That's what my family calls me. I like the joint nickname. Here we are, guys. I'm going to wait 1 second while lots of people jump in here. Who has some Monday energy besides me? Because I have already recorded a podcast, had a meeting, had so much coffee, did a workout, danced around, took the kids to school. I haven't washed my hair in a week, but you know what, you guys? We are doing what we can do. Hello in Iran. I always love seeing y'all on here. Oh, you love my hair color. Thank you. I didn't do it at all myself, but I appreciate that you like it. Hello in South Carolina. Real quick, everybody tell me what your name is and where you are saying hi from. Let's just have everyone check in. Where are you? Hello from Virginia. Thank you. Crushed a workout this morning, blasting music while you work. Oh, hello from Budapest. Hello to you. Okay. Hello in Las Vegas. Back to school in person. I'm home teaching. God bless you. Wait, hold on, guys. Hold on. Stay here. Okay, I shut the internet off. Now we're just going to go. We're going to use whatever this phone comes with. Washington, Calgary, Chicago, Ashley in New York. Y'all, Wales, all right. Pennsylvania, a real housewife. Is that what you mean? From South Jersey. Okay, boom. It's Monday. What should we talk about? So I'm going to talk about something fun that we have coming up that I want to tell you guys about, a little surprise. But I haven't checked in with you in a hot minute. So how are we feeling? What's going on? What's the energy? What's the vibe? How's your life? Tell me all the things because we haven't chatted. I will tell you, what can I report on? What's happening? What could I tell you about? I mean, that's what everyone wants, is for someone to get on live stream and just sort of awkwardly be like, nothing to report. How am I? I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking, Lisa. And Crystal, thank you for saying that you missed my vibe. Here it is. Here's my vibe. Unshowered, but coming in hot. Reading Girl Stop Apologizing. That's awesome. I hope that you are enjoying it. Thoughts on your new house. I love my new house. I'm really freaking super blessed. I have an amazing view. I'm out in the country. It makes me really happy. It's got good energy. Tell us about your podcast. Well, great. I recorded a podcast for tomorrow. Man, you set me up so perfectly for this. So tomorrow I did a whole thing on, I want to give you guys what we're doing at Rise Women's Conference as much as I can for free, because I'm really conscious that not everybody can afford tickets. So I'm putting some of the learnings that are going to be at conference inside of podcasts. So tomorrow's episode is all about how I reframed walking through hard things. So if you've gone through trauma, if you've gone through a breakup, a divorce, if you've lost someone that you love, if you lost your job, how do you reframe and shift your mindset and your perspective and shift your paradigm around that topic? So that's what tomorrow's is all about. I actually think it's a really good one. So that'll be on Rachel Hollis podcast tomorrow. It's always free. You guys can grab it there. Tell us about Rise Weekend. I would love to. So Rise Women's Conference is something we've done since 2017. And this is the first time ever that we're doing it virtually. And also more news on that coming soon. Next week, guys. Not yet, but get ready. For those of you who are like, I really need to go somewhere, Rachel, get ready. But also you can go to it virtually. It's women all around the world. So thousands of women who are committed to this idea of wanting to make change. So this is a conference if you feel like you are ready to shift, you want to have a breakthrough, you want to take time to focus on yourself and really figure out, okay, where am I going from here? What's the big dream? How do I accomplish this goal? What does it look like? To be surrounded in community with women who are like-minded. One of the things I talked about for the podcast tomorrow was this idea that if you don't ever have new people coming into your circle, if you're not ever sort of hearing a different perspective, you will unconsciously keep reinforcing the beliefs that you already have about yourself or what you're capable of or what is possible, because the people in your life reinforce those. Now, sometimes the people in our lives we know that they're not great for us. But other times, the people who love you most, they're wonderful, amazing, beautiful people, but maybe their perspective on where you want to go sort of stops it here. And you will keep bumping up against that ceiling of someone else's perception of what is possible for you, and you will live into it. So for me, I feel like one of the easiest ways to shift your perspective about what you're capable of is to hang out with people who can speak in a fresh perspective. So so women's conference is that opportunity. And I always feel like it's important. I think when people hear women's conference, they tend to think faith-based. That's not Rise. I definitely grew up in the church. My best friend Beans definitely grew up in the church. And I think that spirituality and faith will always weave itself into the work that we do. But when we set out to create this conference in 2017, our goal was to create a space that you could come to if you were Muslim or Jewish or Mormon or Christian or don't believe in God or you're a witch, like whatever you're into, you're a Jedi, like whatever you believe, this is a space for you to come together and just sort of have those life-changing conversations. Like, I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you meet someone, you're like, oh my gosh, they're so different. Like there's never, and then they end up being this really close friend and this really beautiful teacher in your life because of the differences between you. I just think that too often we surround ourselves with people who they're a carbon copy of us. Like, right? Everybody in your community looks like you, votes like you, loves like you, believes the same religion. That means that nothing is ever going to shake the foundations of what you believe, which your heart's going to stay a certain size. It's not going to be able to grow and elevate. So we're so excited. I'm so excited. We haven't done a Rise Women's Conference since Toronto. Shout out if you were in Toronto, since Toronto at the beginning of 2020. So this is the first time that we're getting to do it. It's the first time it'll ever be streamed virtually. And then we'll have the opportunity to be in a building with humans again. So we're really excited. That is happening May 14th, guys. Who knows the date? Oh my gosh. Nick, are you on here? Can you tell me what date it's happening? May 14th, 15th, 16th, I think. And big exciting news for anybody who can't. I always think that if you don't buy a ticket to women's conference, there's only two reasons. One, you don't understand how it's going to change your life. Because if you understood how it would change your life, you would freaking buy a ticket, or you can't afford it. And dude, I have been there many times in my life. If you can't afford it, don't freaking buy it. Don't put it on a credit card. Nope, not right now, not for future. Have that as a goal, like no worries. And how I want to make sure that we're still getting this information out is we're in a 6-week countdown. Every Monday at noon, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be teaching, pumping you up, hopefully lifting your spirits, giving you some of the pieces that we're going to experience at Rise. So you can bring a notebook in this time together and we can sort of work through so you get to learn for free. Also, on April 14th, oh, Sammy, good job, Sammy, thank you. On April 14th, I'm doing a free webinar. So I'm going to do a teaching. We put the link in my bio. If you want to sign up, you just give your email. And that is just me giving back. If you can't come to Rise Conference, I'm going to do a free teaching. We're going to be in a community, in a group with like-minded people. So if you're one of those that are like, sis, I want to go, but I don't have it in my budget, I totally freaking understand. Been there a million times. Come join the webinar and let me serve you really well, and you don't have to pay for anything. Can we include our kids in Rise? Absolutely. The only caveat I will say is sometimes, nobody else does this, but sometimes when I get real worked up when I'm teaching, I cuss a little. And also, we always have a live DJ, and we're not necessarily playing songs that would be we're not playing but maybe there's I don't know if there's a cuss word. I just, that's the only thing. That's the only caveat I will give you. Really mindful that people are watching it in their living rooms and that they may have family around. But if the question is I have a 12-year-old daughter, would this be appropriate to do with her? Absolutely. Moms bring their girls all the time, and it is so freaking powerful. In fact, the stories that we have coming out, like the teenagers who come, every woman is freaking wish I could have gone through this experience when I was a teenager, because it would have changed so much. Where is the conference? So It's happening here in Austin, Texas at the Moody Theater, but it's streaming all over the world. Power cursing. That's exactly what it is. Parental discretion is advised. I'm a good girl, but sometimes I cuss a little. Okay, so real quick, tell me how y'all are. How are you feeling? How's it going? Like, what's happening in your world? I would love to do some Q&A. I would love to answer your questions and be helpful and serve you in this time that we're here. To sign up for the free webinar, go to the link in my bio. When we wrap up here, you're going to go to the link in my bio. Nick, who does my social, she put it in there for y'all. You just go in, drop your email. You'll get all of the information. We'll love on you well. And remember, on the podcast in the 6 weeks leading up, I'm just serving and teaching there for free as well. So if you haven't checked out the podcast, y'all, there's so much free content in there. Give you all the things. Alicia said, I'm healthy. How about you? I'm great. I'm really, really great. I'm feeling so freaking hopeful. Vaccine is rolling out. Like, I'm feeling excited. I'm feeling like vacation is going to be a thing. I was dropping Ford off at school this morning, and his teacher was like, man, there's only 35 school days left. And I was like, that's crazy. And to that end, can we just all give me some hearts right now for our teachers. You guys, you have figured out how to teach in a classroom, how to teach virtually. Shout out to the parents who are teaching, even though you never signed up for that. Like, y'all, woo, okay. Let's see. Listening to Girls Stop Apologizing. I love when people are talking about that audiobook. How should I control my stress for the first day of a new job? What a great question. So for me, being great in a situation is all about the prep work that I do before I get there. So if I was going into my first day and I wanted to feel grounded and calm, I would really look into guided meditation, visualization, and gratitude work the morning before I go. I mean, I do this as a part of my morning routine every single morning, but grounding yourself in gratitude and really meditating on what makes you feel great is going to calm you down. I'm dog sitting for Dave, so I just have to let Jeffrey in. One moment, everybody, one moment. Okay, I'm back. So ground yourself in sort of the piece of feeling grateful. Just a real quick thing. If you go to episode 72 of my podcast, I do a guided meditation with you that I think would be really helpful to help you, feel calm. But the best piece of advice I would say for gratitude work is really don't just think like, oh, I'm thankful for my friends or, oh, I'm thankful for my kids. I imagine a situation in my mind where I'm experiencing my favorite part of my relationship with that person. So I see myself playing games with my kids and we're laughing our butts off and we're being silly. And I see myself with my girlfriends and like we're having this amazing experience, or I'm crying to them or whatever. Like I see myself in the scenario and then I feel the gratitude. I don't just think the gratitude, I feel it. And that brings everything down to here. So struggling with depression, changing meds, starting therapy, but still struggling with getting out of bed in the morning and Okay, you said, and struggling to get the cleaning done. What matters most is you taking care of you. Changing medication is so hard. It's throwing everything off inside of you, and it is a really important step in the work that you're trying to do, but I want you to hear me say it is work. I'm not going to cuss because I know I'm on live, but F the dishes. Screw the dishes. Screw the laundry. Who freaking cares? Who cares? The house is going to be dirty for a minute. What matters is that you are taking care of you. And if you don't feel like you have it in you today to do the dishes, light them on fire. Get some paper plates. Like, who cares? I feel like we as women especially have this like checklist of all the things that we need to do in order to be good, in order to get the job, in order to do it right. And when you ask women to make a list of their priorities, if most women will not even put themselves on the list, like it doesn't even occur to them. They'll be like, my marriage, my kids, my this, my that, my job, da-da-da-da. And it's like, well, where are you? And they're like, oh, great. And then they add their name, but their name is literally the last thing on the list. Self-care is not something for Sunday afternoon. Self-care is not a bubble bath and a face mask when you're feeling down. Self-care is, can you take care of yourself every single day? And that might mean that the house is dirty. Oh well. Oh well. Because you are not going to be able to serve anyone else. You are not going to be able to have anything else you want if you're not feeling okay. And sometimes, especially when we're dealing with depression, anxiety, any of that emotional stuff, and you're trying to do therapy, and be graceful. Be graceful with yourself. Let the dishes sit. They're fine. What's been your biggest change in 2020, 2021 that you never planned to have to make, but now don't want to ever lose focus on? Thank you. I love this question. I never want to forget what it felt like to slow down and come back to the person that I want to be. I think like so many of us at the beginning of 2020, I was going, I was running, I was hustling the work, I was traveling, all the things. And it was a forced slow down, and it was a forced stop, and it was a forced come back to self. And that was painful. It is hard to sit with yourself, and it is hard to do the work, and it is hard to not want to numb out, to not want to drink too much or eat too much or, binge watch a Netflix show or do anything that you can do to not have to think about how uncomfortable you are. But I was talking to, for my birthday, I got a reading from I don't know if it's a medium or I don't know what it is. But she said this line that I love and I keep coming back to. She said, just because something is uncomfortable doesn't mean it's dangerous. Just because you're uncomfortable doesn't mean you're in danger. And I have thought of that so many times of our willingness to sit with ourselves and sit with our stuff and do the work and do the therapy and journal and cry and hold those feelings. And I never want to forget how essential it is to my being, and I think to yours as well, to slow down and be with yourself. I missed you guys too. Everyone's saying you miss me. I appreciate it. I miss you too. You convinced me to hire a house cleaner. Yes, hire a house. The only reason to not have a house cleaner is because you can't afford it yet. And notice I said yet. But if you can afford a house cleaner and you don't have a house cleaner, what are you doing? Unless you like it. Do you like scrubbing your toilet? I don't like scrubbing my toilet. Look, I want to do the things that only I can do. This is the key to success. Because I know y'all follow me. I've got dreamers. I've got entrepreneurs. I know who's in my community. You want to know how you get ahead. You want to know how you can be the most productive and the most effective. Do the things that only you can do. Can someone, could I do the dishes? Yes. Can I scrub the toilet? Absolutely. Can someone else also, so that I could spend my time doing this live stream, writing a book, recording a podcast, which is the stuff that only I can do? Yes. So that's what we do. My girl comes twice a week, and she is the most delightful human ever. We love her, and she, makes sure that mold doesn't grow on the dishes in the sink. Thank you. Thank you, Sherry. We appreciate you. Let's see. Had to start a group to support mindset and move energy for peace of mind. We've been so uncomfortable. It's real. But just because you're uncomfortable doesn't mean that you are in danger. And then Nick just posted to sign up for our free and if you go to the link in my bio, you can sign up. You just give us your email address. What a fabulous feeling after the cleaner leaves and the house is spotless, right? And what's so funny, am I the only one that they clean for you and it's somehow you're just oh, my life, we're going to be fine. Like before Sherry gets here versus after Sherry gets here, I'm like, we got it. This poor kids, they can't stop me. Look how clean this pantry is. Let's see. Here we go. I want to read. Okay, ask questions. I love all these comments. Let's see. How do you juggle the bajillion things and still take care of yourself? Because taking care of myself is my number one priority. If y'all didn't see it, I don't know, like a week ago or maybe 2 weeks ago, I wrote a post on the word selfish and how often I think the word selfish is used to manipulate and control women, especially. I think many of us got that word thrown at us or wrapped around us since we were little girls. That without another person involved. Does that make sense? Like either someone is calling you selfish or you feel selfish because like there's someone else involved and you're like, oh, I shouldn't take this time to go on my run. I shouldn't take this time to go to the gym. How dare I want to go get a massage? How dare I want to like take a nap because that's selfish, right? So like, I'm going to comment on this. I usually don't see these, but I'm going to do it. I assume that you're saying privilege AF about having a housekeeper. Hell yeah, it is. It absolutely is. And I'm super aware of that. I grew up with no money and I clean my house forever. And it is a privilege to have someone who can come in and do that. But I also worked my ass off to get to the place where I could afford that in my life. And I chose that really early on. Like I will sacrifice other things in my life to have help with that. It is a privilege, but when you add the words really exciting about the world is that when someone else has something that maybe you wish you had, it doesn't mean that you can't have it. Does that make sense? See, I think when people see someone who have a thing that they want, their reaction is like, screw you. Because if you have that thing, it's a reminder that I don't. And the way I tend to think is if someone has something, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I can't wait for the day when someone will do that for me. Right? It's pausing. I don't know why. Right? You can choose. Look, you get to control the mindset that you have about anything in life. You get to control your mindset. So you can see something and see it as an example of what you do not have in your life. You can look at it and see scarcity, or you can be like, damn, I want to work to the place where I get to have that thing too. Or you could be like, that's never going to be something I aspire to spend money on. Do you, girl? But I'm so confused by this culture that we have created of like, oh, someone has something, let me crap all over it. Let me attack that thing. Because that thing makes me feel lack. You are in control of your mindset. So, okay, not relatable to you. Cool. Great. Keep doing you. I'm going to send you so much love and so much light and so much good energy today because I feel like you need it. So, have a good one. All right, back to this. Back to this idea. I don't remember what I was talking about. Honestly, this is such a good point. Thank you. Someone said so many Instagrammers hide the support that they have and the help that they have. I talked about this in Girl Stop Apologizing so much. I will always tell you guys what I have access to. I have a nanny. I have someone who comes and cleans my toilets twice a week. I absolutely have a team of people at work. Someone gave me this hair color. Clearly no one did my hair and makeup today. But if you see me looking super pretty on Instagram, like full hair and makeup, someone made me look like that. I absolutely have so much help Because number one, it takes a team to be able to live life at this level. To run a company, to write these books, to do this podcast, to do these things, there is no way I can do it by myself. And I'm so freaking over a society that tells women that they're supposed to have it all by themselves without complaining and look beautiful and not have stretch marks and have a perfect body and fit into this narrative. I call BS. No. It's garbage. If you see someone on social showing you this idealized life and saying that they do it all on their own, they are lying. And what happens is it makes other people feel like crap because they think, why does this influencer have this beautiful everything and I can't even get out of bed? Right? If you see my life and you're like, that looks cool, I wish I had that thing, please no. A team of people helped me accomplish this. Not in the beginning. Not in the beginning because I had no money. But you better believe that the second that I started to work, literally, back when I was making $34,000 a year, one of the first things I splurged on was not going out with my friends, was not dinner, was not alcohol. It was a housekeeper who came on Saturdays and cleaned my house. That is a value for me. Feel great about spending money on it. So I'm going to keep showing up. And if that makes someone feel like it's not relatable, great. Keep doing you. Sending love and light. And the things we go off on live streams, guys, all of it. I don't even remember what I was talking about. I feel like it was a good point, but I don't even remember now. Does anyone have one more question? Working on money goals, saw the documentary posting. Are you going to teach on it? I'm not going to teach on it. There is a documentary that I am part of, which I can't talk about a lot. I can't even talk about it. It's just, if you saw the post for that, then, you know, if you're interested in it, then here's the all I will say about it. My specialty is not in money. My specialty is in mindset. So if my sort of challenge to that partnership was, what if you approached money in a different way? And would that change the way that you show up? Do you want to write a new book? So I'm finishing a couple of really exciting projects, which I'll tell you guys about later. And they are writing, but it's not books. So more on that soon. Someone just said, hell, I don't even work and I have a house cleaner. And also this is such a good point. Like this, giving people crap for this, like, I am really proud of the fact that I'm super proud of the employees that I have at work. And I'm also really proud of the fact that like my nanny and my housekeeper, because of the work that I do, then I'm able to pay them well. So yeah, let's see. Okay, wait, I'm going to look for another question. I love it. I love all you guys. You're like, yes. You're like, yes, I get those manicures. I get it all. I love you. The real fans are like, we know exactly what you've been writing. It's coming, girls. Just wait. Who is the motorcycle dude? If you want to break the internet, put a video in stories of you riding a motorcycle with a guy and don't say who it is. Still no comment. Let's see. I'll eat ramen from my lawn guy and my housekeeper. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to say this one time because I keep getting the questions and I feel like people had a really crazy thing, but I just want to answer it and then I want to stop getting questions. So last summer, I adopted a dog. And I adopted her and I had her for about a month and she had really severe anxiety. And she ended up going back to the family who had her before me. I tried for a month and then Sawyer got hurt. And then when Noah got hurt, that was the end for me. And she was the sweetest, most wonderful girl, but she wasn't the right fit for our family. So she went back to the family who had her before us. And the reason I didn't talk about that publicly at the time was because I feel like there's a lot of opinions about dogs with anxiety. I feel like there's a lot of opinions about big dogs and sort of dogs that look a certain way being mean or whatever. And I just didn't want to like publicly say that and then have people be like, I knew it, like those kind of dogs, blah, 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 because it's garbage. So I just didn't tell the story. But then there's a handful of people who keep like aggressively being like, where's the dog? As if I like took her out back and let her roam free. So she's back with her family and she's doing great, but she wasn't the right fit for our family because Noah's still too little to be in a situation with a dog like that. So that's where she is, but she's living her best life. And right now I got Jeffrey over here. I'm dog sitting for Dave. So everything's good. So it was sad. I was really sad because I got her because I didn't want to be alone in a house by myself when the kids weren't here. But guess what? I remember that I'm a grown-up and everything's fine and maybe someday I'll get a dog again. That is the dramatic story. Justin Bobby, what's that? Did that happen to Justin Bobby? Also, I haven't thought of that name in forever. Jeffrey loves my house. Look at him. Can you see him over there? He is living his best life, you guys. He's passed out on the couch. He's doing great. Your podcast means so much to me. Thank you. I appreciate that, guys. What else can I answer while I'm here? Anything else before I go? I've answered the controversial question of where's the dog, got into an argument with someone about the ability to have a housekeeper. Who is my coach? Who's my coach? I don't really have a coach. Just like the books that I'm reading or friends that I have in the industry, like it's more that I take it based on what I'm kind of going through at the time, and then I'll seek out an answer for the specific problem that I'm having. What is the best suggestion for creating a morning routine that you can stick to? One thing at a time. Add one thing at a time. Think of one thing that would really help your morning to thrive, that would make you feel more successful, that would set you up for the day ahead, and just incorporate that one thing. So let's say that you always feel stressed kind of getting out of the house, right? So maybe your thing is like, man, if I could just feel less stressed getting the kids into the car, if I could just feel less stressed when I'm getting ready for work, then that's the one thing to change. How can you set yourself up for it in advance so that you can feel great? So like, could you lay your clothes out the night before? Could you have your keys in your purse and everything you need ready to go? How can you set yourself up? And then just practice doing that one thing for 10 days. 10 days, over and over and over, you're going to do that thing. By day 10, it's going to feel normal now for you to continue. Get that going, get that on, like set and going, and then add another thing. And then add another. It's called habit stacking. And that's how you build a morning routine that sticks. What's the best book you've read so far this year? I just read No Rules Rules because I love business books. So I just read No Rules Rules, which is about Netflix and how their company culture works and how it sort of is so different than everybody else, but also is a big reason they've been successful. So I love that. Let's see. Is there ever a time you should give up? Is there ever a time you should give up? I'm trying to think of when I've given up. Certainly. Yeah. I think there's a time when you have tried and come at it from every angle. And I think like just super honest with you, if you guys were with me when I got divorced, I mean, that was years and years and years of trying to make something work and doing all the things that I could think of, and it just wasn't ever gonna be fixed. It was never gonna be fixed, and neither one of us were ever gonna be able to be the people that we could be and should be if we kept trying to make this unhealthy thing work. And so I don't know that I would call it giving up so much as choosing the option that is actually like what your spirit needs. In any situation, the dream that you have, the job you want to do, whatever it is, it shouldn't be about giving up, because giving up implies that you let go and then that's the end of that for you, as opposed to choosing a path that is more fit for who you became. And I think probably how that shows up most, and I would go back to like the divorce again, but I also think this is true for like dreams and goals and whatever. How that shows up most is when you've evolved, when you've become someone new, when you've like you have grown and you have changed, and so those desires that your heart had 5 years ago or even 1 year ago, like it's changed and that's where you have to sort of choose the thing. Why did you present yourself as a happy couple? What a sweet question to ask. Because we were a happy couple. Because we were best friends. And we had so much fun together. But as much as I love you guys and as public as my life is, you don't get to know the behind the scenes stuff. You don't get to know the ugly stuff. You don't get to know the pieces that don't fit. And it's rude. It's wildly rude and disrespectful to attack someone because you didn't get to see those parts. It's like such an unfair thing. Like, I'll clap back at you. Do you go show the world the parts of your relationship that are broken? No. And if you're best friends with someone, and this is the case with us, if you're best friends with someone, that friendship will always fix the pieces that don't work right. I don't know how else to explain that. Like, because you could have all this stuff that was like hard and you're working through, but then you could go laugh together. You could watch a movie. You have these beautiful kids. Like, you're so freaking blessed that that's the part that you come back to. And frankly, we could have kept doing that for the rest of our lives. We could have kept doing that for the rest of our lives because the friendship was that strong. So that's what you saw. And not just with me, like with anybody. If you see celebrity couples, if you see influencers, if you see authors, if you see people that you're like, but you were so happy. Well, come on, you're smarter than that. You are so much smarter than that. Like, you showing your friends the real stuff. You showing up at the company holiday party and being like, well, we haven't talked to each other in a whole day. Well, like, no, come on. Why is it that you're allowed to be human, but I'm not? Right? Come on, y'all. It's so crazy. I'm on my period right now, so let's fight. Normally I just ignore these comments, but today I'm like, let's go. Come on. What would you tell your 21-year-old self? Have some water, because you've had too much vodka. And no, so I wouldn't change anything because I'm so grateful for the lessons, truly, the lessons I've learned. And I don't know that I would be the woman I am if I hadn't gone through what I've gone through, but I wish that I would have learned sooner to not care what other people think. It's the greatest lesson of my life. I think it's the greatest lesson that we as humans, it's what I am trying to instill in my kids every freaking day, is to not care what other people think. And I wish I had learned that at 21. Because if I had learned that at 21, I'd probably be Elon Musk by now. I don't even know what I would have accomplished by now, but it would have been something wild. Because so much of what we hold ourselves back from is like this fear of what other people will think of us for wanting that in our lives. Yes, Amy. Yes, girl, I see you. Let's see. Yes, I'm sorry. Someone said, are you friends with Heidi? I haven't met Heidi yet. She seems lovely. My kids love her. I'm sure she's wonderful. I am positive we're going to meet at some point, because how could we not? But I'm sure she's great. But also that's got to be awkward as hell. Have you met the person that your old person is now? That's just not any weird feeling. Like, I probably like her more than I like him. But like, that's gotta be, you know me. There's no way I don't make that awkward. Like, what am I gonna do? I don't know. Like, what? No, just me? Someone tell me, how does that go? Someone tell you how that goes. So awkward. Okay, you guys are saying it is awkward. Yeah, we'll try. I'm sure she'd be down to do a live stream. It's fine. That won't be weird at all. It's awkward, believe me. I love that you just said it will be awkward. Ames, you know it will be. For her too, I hope. Like, come on, this is weird. Like, yeah, okay, everyone's saying it. I'm glad. And then you get over it. Like, that's we're all good. Everyone's great. But honestly, like, freaking so happy for him. Live your life, live your dreams, do the thing, get it. live. And that is like the hope, right? When you go through something as hard as what we had to go through, like if you're going to have to go through that hell, let it be, because you get to come out of the other side of it and get to live this like beautiful, brilliant new life, right? Let it be that. Let it be that. Go freaking A. Do it. So, man, here we go. We have made it through a full hour of hanging out on live with you guys. I hope that you found this helpful. 2 things to take away from our time together today. Number 1, podcast tomorrow is all about how to shift your mindset around the hard things that you've walked through, how to really tactical. It's super tactical. Grab your notebook. It's going to be the stuff that you can do tomorrow that is going to help you with this. It'll be on Rachel Hollis podcast tomorrow. It's always free. The other thing is the webinar. We put the link in my bio. This is for people who really want to go to Rise Conference, but maybe you can't afford it this time around. We understand. But I still want to be able to serve you well. So webinar is a chance for you to experience, teaching, and resources and content and community and all that for free. So that's happening April 14th. The link is in the bio. I hope y'all have a fantastic day. Until I see you next time, remember that I love you. I'm rooting for you. Go watch today's episode of Rach Talk. It's on YouTube. It's really funny. And if you thought this was helpful, I'm going to put this in my feed. If you thought this was helpful,